Hi, my name is Frank from channel 33 RPM, the YouTube channel all about vinyl gear and more. And you are watching Cinebros Supreme, one of my personal favorite YouTube channels starring the one, the only Jex Russell. Turn it up loud. I think that went okay. I kind of like this music room and all, but I'm itching to get back home. How the heck am I going to get back to Edmonton? Maybe if I snap my finger, something will happen? Sorry, Jex.
Vinyl community, greetings and salutations. I'm Jex Russell and I have for you guys a long-awaited vinyl update. That's right, I haven't done one of these things in 4 months. It's been since the holidays, so I have quite a bit of stuff to talk about. But first, a very special thank you goes out to Frank Landry from channel 33 RPM. Frank, thank you so much for that intro. It was amazing. And I wish you would have told me that you were here. We could have hung out. That would have been awesome. Although I must say, kind of weird that you were hanging out at my house by yourself. Not gonna lie. And come to think of it, I had a case of beer in the fridge that mysteriously went missing, Frank. And also, don't worry about the turntable, buddy. It has since gotten fixed, and the bill is being sent your way at this very moment. Alright, all jokes aside, Frank is an amazing dude, has an amazing channel. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, so definitely, if you're not subscribed to Frank, a link to the channel will be in the description below. Go subscribe, you won't regret it. Now, let's talk about some records. Alright, let's get right into it. This first one is by no means a rarity, very common in fact, but I didn't have it in the collection, not in the vinyl collection anyway, so I had to get it. Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman. As is often the case, there's nothing I can say about this that hasn't been said. An amazing album, the last one to feature Randy Rhoads, and I absolutely love it. Over the Mountain, the opening track, my favorite track on here. So good. Flying High Again was a big hit on here, and I just want to check if I'm the only one, because I never really heard anyone talk about this, but the song Flying High Again, you know, the beginning, you know, the first verse. Am I the only one who thinks it is very similar to Poison's Nothing But a Good Time? I mean, I know that song came out later, but when I hear about it, just the opening, you know, it's like really, it's like a feel-good, you know, party song, and I'm just like, I keep thinking of Nothing But a Good Time. Just wondering if it's just me. So please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that being said, Diary of a Madman, classic album and a must in the collection. Alright, this next one was given to me by my buddy Alex Pinet. We go to college together. We both love music. We both collect vinyl. So he recently got himself an upgrade of this album. Asks me if I wanted this one. He said it's a bit in rough shape, but he wants it to go to a good home. So I said sure. Here it is, Alice Cooper. Welcome to My Nightmare. I feel like I've talked about this album a lot. Late last year, I got it on CD. I got a t-shirt with this design. So yeah, I feel like I talk about it a lot, but you know, well deserved. It's a terrific album. And also one thing I want to mention, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a little signature here. Apparently this used to belong to Peggy O'Donnell. And let me just say, I absolutely love when people write their names on the cover of a record. It's amazing, it's wonderful, it's such a terrific thing, you know, because it's so useful to me to know who this record used to belong to, right? And it must be my lucky day, because this one comes with a phone number. 455-8069. Hi, is this Peggy? Hi, Peggy, Jex Russell from Cinebros Supreme. Perhaps you've heard of me. No, well, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I only have one question for you. It'll only take up a little bit of your time. Here goes. What the f*** is wrong with you? But yeah, once again, not much I can say about this album. You all know it. Probably Alice Cooper's most successful album. And in fact, he released a sequel to this a few years back called Welcome to My Nightmare, which I haven't heard yet, but I heard very good reviews. And also it was produced by Bob Ezrin as well, so I really have to keep an eye out for that. Let's move on. Okay, so this next one is a bit of a blind buy in many ways. I went to a local record shop here called Spin It. and I saw this cover, and I was instantly just drawn to it. I'm like, this looks awesome. Didn't know what it was. I'm just gonna show it off right now. This is Trillion. This is their debut self-titled album. Now, upon seeing it, the only thing I could think of was awesome cover. I love it, but I didn't know what it was. You know, it was $5, and I really wanted to get it. But, you know, I always have that voice in my head saying, what if it sucks, right? Then you're out $5. And when you're a student, $5 goes a long way. $5 is a big deal. So I didn't get it right away. Instead, a few days later, you know, it's still on my mind. So I decided I'm going to go on YouTube, check it out, see what it sounds like at least. And as soon as it came on, I was like maybe not even 10 seconds in. My jaw hit the ground. I was like, this is amazing. My wife was in the room with me. We're looking at each other, and she actually said to me, you better go back and buy that record. Which basically never happened. So obviously, the next day I went back and bought it. I bought it, and the whole album is awesome. I can't recommend this enough. This is like a mixture of, it's AOR, you know, first things first, it's AOR. It's like a mixture of Styx, Boston, maybe Journey, and maybe even a little bit of Queen blended in. And this is what you get Trillion. And I couldn't recommend it enough. If you ever see this in the wild, grab yourself a copy. You will not regret it. I'm loving it. I was actually listening to it earlier today, and it is awesome. Trillion. All right, these next guys, I used to love these guys growing up. Well, you know, I still love them, just maybe not as much as I used to. Not a band per se, more of a comedy group. And I'm speaking, of course, of none other than Cheech and Chong. This is Get Out of My Room from 1985. So yeah, I remember a time when I used to be alone in my room watching Cheech and Chong movies, just laughing my ass off. And yeah, when I saw this, I just had to pick it up, man. It's not their best comedic album, but it's got some good bits on here and some good songs. Like the title track, "Get Out of My Room," is awesome. There's of course "Born in East LA," which is a spoof of Bruce Springsteen's "Born in the USA." There's some dorm radio bits where they're playing two college students, you know, doing their own radio show, which is pretty funny. Yeah, definitely worth it. Cheech and Chong, Get Out of My Room and Leave Me Alone. So that one was purchased at Livewire. This was back in February. It was a snow day. I remember I had no school that day, and Marty posted on the Facebook page that he was having a 60% off sale. So of course I went and took advantage. You know, so I had the Cheech and Chong one, and I also got this one. Blue Oyster Cult, Some Enchanted Evening. This is a live album, and I actually can't say too much about it. I haven't listened to it much. I actually heard bits of this over at Plaw's house. You know, my buddy Plaw Addiction. He has a copy of this, and we listened to it at his place, and I love what I heard. Great songs here. I love Blue Oyster Cult, and I want more of them in my collection. That's why I picked this one up. The only one I've had so far is Agents of Fortune. So this is definitely a great add to the collection. I look forward to spinning it some more. BOC. Again at Livewire. I saw this one, and I was, again, drawn to the cover. Didn't know what it was, so I'm asking Marty, the owner of Livewire, like, what is this? And he actually knew about it. He has a copy, he told me. And I'm just going to show it off, then I'll get it more to the band. So this is the Battered Wives. This is a band from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And you take a look at this cover, right? Like, isn't that awesome? I mean, check out that car, right? It's huge. So yeah, Battered Wives, they're basically, they were from the Toronto punk scene. They're not a hardcore punk band, but they have like punk tendencies, you know, it's like maybe post-punk. Much like one of my favorite Canadian bands, Teenage Head. They were from that same punk scene. And I didn't know this upon picking it up. I just found that out later. And they are awesome. Once again, I haven't listened to it that much, so I can't say much about it. But songs like Daredevil, Suicide, Uganda Stomp, some great stuff here. Great Canadian punk rock. I highly recommend it. In fact, I should give a shout out to my buddy Lee, Brother Lee, Noise Spectrum. I don't know if you've heard of these guys. I feel like you probably have. But if not, check them out. You will not regret it. Battered Wives. And I like this record so much that the next day I went out and bought another one that Marty had at the store, Live Wire. This is Battered Wives live on Mother's Day. Right there in the title, it's a live album. And this one was just as good. I think I might even like this one more. Again, I've only listened to it the once, but I look forward to spinning it again. The highlight for me on here, the one thing that really stood out was Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll, which is a cover of a song by Ian Dury and the Blockheads, which I also love. And I have always loved that song ever since I first heard it years and years ago. So to hear a cover of it was awesome. They really did it justice. So yeah, Battered Wives. Check these guys out if you haven't heard of them. I highly, highly recommend it. All right. So picture it, once upon a time last month, I walk into a local Salvation Army, really close to the college I go to. They never have anything, as far as records go, barely ever have anything good. But they seem to have more of a selection, so I thought I'd dig through, not expecting to find anything. And all of a sudden, out of the clear blue sky, I see this. This is a single, Our Friends Electric, from Gary Newman and the Tubeway Army. This is from their album Replicas, which I've loved for years, and I still don't have a copy of that album. But I found this single. It's in beautiful shape. I think it was $2 or $3, so I couldn't pass it up. I thought that was a great deal. The B-side is We Are So Fragile, which I don't think I had heard. I can't remember if it's on the album. Been a while. But yeah, Tubeway Army. I'm like, that's cool. So I keep on digging, of course, right? I'm like, what else am I going to find? Well, I'll show you what else I found. Gary Newman, once again, She's Got Claws. This one I wasn't familiar with at all. And it also has on the B-side, I Sing, Rain, and Exhibition. And these are all good songs. I really like them. This seems to be a little later in the 80s. So I wasn't really familiar with this era of Gary Newman. But yeah, for the price I paid, awesome. So I keep on digging. What else am I going to find? Well, let me show you. Gary Newman, this is his album Telecon. And I thought this was another single, because there's a sticker here that says, includes limited edition free live single, which obviously wasn't with it. But yeah, I didn't even take a good look. I just kind of checked the condition real quick, and I picked it up, thinking it was a single. But no, this is a full-length album from 1980. And I gave it a spin, and it's actually really, really good. Really similar to, I'm drawing a blank, what's his album? The Pleasure Principle. So, yeah, what a score. I thought it was a single, but it's a full-length album. You know, the cover's seen better days, but the record is actually in great shape. So I keep on digging. What else am I going to find? Well, last but certainly not the least, in this haul anyway, Tubeway Army, the debut self-titled album, 1979. Couldn't believe it. This one was actually the one I was happiest to find. I gave it a quick look at the record, make sure it was the right record and sleeve and all that. And, I gave it a quick look, and then I paid for it with the rest. When I got home, I realized that this one is the one that's in the rough shape. It's the one I was the most excited about, and it's the one that's in the worst shape. Not too bad as far as scratches goes. It's pretty dirty. And so I probably just have to give it a cleaning. But yeah, the cover's in great shape. So still happy to find it. I just got to give it a cleaning. Hopefully that'll make it play better. But I like what I have heard from it. The song sounded amazing, even better than Replicas. I've loved Replicas, but this album here just blows it out of the water. So much better. So yeah, those are my Gary Newman finds at the Salvation Army. Right place at the right time. This one here, nothing rare, but I needed it in the collection. Happy to finally have it. Aerosmith, Draw the Line. And the cover has a little bit of yellow to it, but it's actually surprisingly clean. I've seen really dirty copies of this record. So this one here is not one of the worst. And yeah, you guys all know Aerosmith. I won't say too much about it. The song Kings and Queens is probably one of my favorite on here. Amazing song. So yeah, this really helps my Aerosmith collection. Now the only one I'm missing as far as 70s Aerosmith goes is the debut, the self-titled album. And, well, live bootleg too, but I'm just counting studio albums right now. I just need the debut. But yeah, Aerosmith, Draw the Line. Happy to finally have it. Another one that's not rare, but I needed. Van Halen, debut. I had all of the other David Lee Roth Van Halen albums. I was just missing this one. I always pass it up for some reason because I've had it on CD, so for a while I'm like, I don't need it. So I finally found a copy. This was on the Facebook page for Matt's media outlet. So I saw it, and I didn't call him, but I messaged him and like, can you put that aside for me? And then when I went to pick it up, like I couldn't tell from the picture, but when I went to pick it up, I see that it's a little wrinkly here. It seems to have gotten a little bit of moisture over the years, a little bit of humidity. It's not water damaged, luckily, and so that kind of bummed me out when I saw it. But I checked the record; it's not warped. It's actually in great shape. So I decided, I felt bad because Matt was nice enough to hold it aside for me. So I didn't want to just be like, nah. So I picked it up anyway. Like I said, record's in great shape, and yeah, it's not the end of the world. And I actually sent a message to Frank, channel 33 RPM, asking if he had any tricks to flatten out a cover like this. But he said once it's like that, it's like that for good. And he's right. I tried to flatten it with some books for I had books on it for a week. Took the record out. Don't worry, just the sleeve. I piled on some books and it did absolutely nothing. But yeah, other than the cover, really happy to have this album on vinyl. Really, really great. A lot of radio staples on here. You Really Got Me, Eruption, Jamie's Crying, Running with the Devil, classic one. One of my favorite cuts on here, Atomic Punk. Great song. So yeah, Van Halen. And finally, last but not least, with that Van Halen record, I picked up Kiss Asylum. Didn't have it in the collection. Needed it in my 80s Kiss collection. And yeah, happy to finally have it. I've mentioned it 100 times. I've always avoided 80s Kiss. I thought it was too glammy and what have you, except for Creatures of the Night. I've always loved that one. But everything else, I was kind of, eh. But in recent years, I've warmed up to it, and I like it. And this album is no exception. There's such great songs in here. The opener, King of the Mountain, Any Way You Slice This, Who Wants to Be Lonely, Trial by Fire, I'm Alive. What else we got on here? Love's a Deadly Weapon, Tears Are Falling. That's one of my least favorite ones. Secretly Cruel, Radar for Love, and All Night. Another one of my lesser favorite ones because you hear it on the hits albums and stuff. So Tears Are Falling and All Night. Lesser favorites, but yeah, this album is actually really, really good. So happy to finally have it in the old collection. Kiss Asylum. So there you go, folks. My long-awaited vinyl update. First one since late December, so it's been 4 months. Things have calmed down with school. I'm done my exams and stuff. We're just currently working on a project, which usually doesn't require homework or stuff like that. So I have a little more time right now for making videos. So thanks for everyone who's still sticking around, watching my videos. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the subscriptions I've been getting. So yeah, once again, take care of each other. I got some more stuff to show off. Got a 7-inch single update I'll be doing soon, and also a CD update. I have so many CDs. I buy more CDs than vinyl just because they're a little more affordable. So there you have it. You know what to do. Click that subscribe button, click that like button, and you can ignore that unlike button. It's purely decorative. So be excellent to each other. Take care, guys. You have got some nerve. Do you know what writing on a record jacket can do to the value of the album if it's not an autograph, huh? Oh wow. I am so incredibly sorry. Would Peggy be home? I am really pissed off, you know that? You have no idea. What's that? Is this not 455-8069? 8169. I am so sorry. I will leave you to it. Sorry for interrupting your dinner, and have a nice day. Okay. Hi, is this Peggy? Peggy O'Donnell? Yeah, hi, Jex Russell here. Wow, what a lovely voice you have. Sorry, I forget why I'm calling. Oh yeah, I have a question for you. What are you wearing?